Good morning, dear students. Once again, we are together. Today, I'll be teaching you a new poem, Win, written by Subramanyam Bharati, a great Tamil poet, famous for his patriotism in pre-independent era. This poem describes the power of wind on nature and human life. When trouble comes in life, the weak people are affected more. If the structure and the path of the wind are weak, then wind will destroy them all. This shows that when trouble comes in life, the weak are more affected. So the poet asks to become strong so that whoever is weak and whatever the problem comes in their way can be solved. A poem has a literary device, which means a word that a poet has used to create rhythm to enhance a meaning to the poem. So let's begin the poem paragraph wise. Wind comes softly. Don't break the shutter of the window. Don't scatter the paper. Don't throw down the book on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the book. You brought rain again. You are very clever at poking fun at weakling. Now, the word poking fun means making fun of, and weakling means of weak people. The poet is talking to the wind. He asks the wind to come softly. So he's saying that the wind should not be very strong and loud, but should be soft and mild. Then he says that the wind is very powerful, it is destructive, it breaks the shutter of the window, scatters the paper, throws the book, which are kept on the shelf, tears the pages of the book, and even bring back the rain. Then he says to the wind, look at the destruction he has done. Whenever there is a strong wind, all things that are weak, like small plants, tiny children, etc., they all get scared and sometimes even fall and get hurt. So the poet says that we'll make fun of all who are weak. If we see the initial part of the poem, we will come to know that the poet is referring to wind as a young child, as he's saying that it should come softly just like a small child does. In the later part, if we see, we come to know that the wind is destructive, just like a youth who are full of energy and violence. Next paragraph. Frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. Now, in this paragraph, we'll see that the word crumbling, which means break to pieces, is repeated so many times. This is to stress that everything breaks in the face of strong wind. So the poet is saying that when wind is very powerful, very strong, it leads to breakage of everything. Houses which are weak falls down, doors, beam on which the roof of the building are supported falls, all bodies of people, animals, the wooden structure, everything which is weak falls and break in the face of diversity. So the poet is saying that whenever a weak person faces adversity or challenge in life, he breaks down and fall. Now, let's see the next line. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. The poet is addressing to wind as wind god. And he's saying that the powerful god of wind winnows or blows all thing that is weak and crush. Now, here a comparison is made between wheat and people. Just like we winnow the wheat to separate the grain from the husk, in the same manner, the wind god separate the strong people from the weak. So come, let's build strong homes. Let's join the door firmly. Practice to form the body. Make the heart steadfast. Do this, and the wind will be friend with us. In this paragraph, poet says that instead of being frightened with the adversity that comes into our lives, we should face it by being strong. He says that the problem will come, it will not listen to us, but we should be prepared for it. In preparation, we should build strong homes and close its doors so firmly that wind cannot get into, which means the problem we should make ourselves so strong that any problems may come into our life should not affect us. Through these lines, he means to say that we should make our bodies and hearts so strong and firm that any challenges comes into our way, we can face it without any kind of fear. And we are strong enough, and when we are strong enough to face all the challenges will be like friends and we will not feel it troublesome. The wind blows out weak fear. He makes strong fires rose and flood. His friendship is good, and we praise him every day. The poet compares wind to God and says that we should praise him every day. He also says that everything that is weak get off in the face of strong wind. Dear student, this poem Wind wants to teach us a very important lesson, a message it wants to give us that we should not feel bad or give up when challenges come to our ways or lives. Instead, we should keep ourselves physically and mentally strong to face it. And once we become strong, we will overcome the challenges and will lead a happy and successful life. As I told you, the poem has a certain poetic device. Now, the first device that the poet has used is anaphor, which means when a word is repeated at the beginning of two or more consecutive lines. You can see line 2, 3, and 4. It begins with the word don't. In the same manner, line 6, 7, 8 begins with you. So it's a device of anaphor. Second is personification. It is one of the figure of speech where the object is portrayed in such a way that we feel they have the ability to act like a human being. And here the poet has personified wind. When the poet says you are, he is referring to wind as you, that mean he is treating wind as a person. The third poetic device is repetition, in which crumbling, which means break into pieces, is repeated many a times to lay emphasis. The poet wants to say that the wind crushes or break everything that is weak. That's why he used the word crumbling time and again. Next is alliteration, the repetition of a consonant sound in close connection like wind winnows, won't, want. Wind winnows. Now it sounds quite similar. The word wind starts with W, winnows also starts with W. In the same manner, won't, want. Won't start with the alphabet W and want also with the alphabet W. At last, he used symbolism, which means that the thing refers to some other thing. Wind is a symbol here. It refers to the challenges in life. He is using wind as a symbol for the adversities in our life.